I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of Jay Taylor's Gold Energy and Tech Stocks newsletter. That's a weekly and a monthly publication. I'm also the host of a radio show called Turning Hard Times into Good Times. And I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum in Toronto. It's March 2nd, 2019. I'm really pleased to be with Robert Archer. Robert just recently joined Newrange Gold Corp. It's a company that I've been following for the last couple of years or so. Robert Carrington had been leading it, and Robert, I think, was overworked to a great extent, but it's great to have two good geologists now heading up this company, and I'm really pleased to talk to Robert Archer. Thanks for joining me again, Robert.
Thanks, Jay. Good to see you again.
Now, you, first of all, tell us, what was it that you saw here? I know that you, most people know you from Great Panther, your success there, and producing silver, a very nice project down there in Mexico. You decided you're going to retire, and I guess you were thinking maybe to be a wine guy. You were going to start to. You have a vineyard.
We have a small vineyard, yeah.
But anyway, not to
More
go
of a
into that.
hobby,
We don't have time to go into that. But
No.
anyway, retirement. You ended coming back to the mining sector, which is what you've known.
Yes.
Putting your skill sets to work. And what was it that you saw with the Pamlico project, which is at the northern end of the Walker
Lane trend.
Walker
Yeah.
Lane trend in Nevada. What was it that you saw there that really encouraged you to get involved again in the mining project? What do you like about this story?
Well, as you know, Jay, I've been a shareholder in Newrange for a number of years, and through that got to know Bob Carrington and his team, and you know, got to respect their technical abilities and so on, and then, you know, joining the board of Newrange in March of last year gave me an opportunity to work more closely with the team and to visit the project, and through all of that, really got to like the project a lot more and the potential, and because of my background as an exploration geologist, I got quite excited about the potential there and the fact that it's largely overlooked in Nevada in the sense that it's been privately owned since the late 1800s. And so for more than 100 years, it effectively sat there with only, you know, sort of minor production in the 1920s, that kind of thing, and really never been explored by modern methods. You know, other than, you know, two brief options in, I think, once in the late 90s and once in the early 2000s. And so there's a lot of gold there, a lot of high grade gold. It's a very coarse gold in places, spectacular samples and spectacular grades that we know now from our drilling and so on. So I just saw a lot of potential, and the project has great infrastructure. It's just right off a major highway. And now with a lot of the work that we've done more recently, looking at the metallurgy and getting, you know, really high recoveries on the metallurgy as well. So, you know, as the project evolves, it just you know, it gets more exciting in terms of the potential.
So you have some underground workings that you've been sampling, and but as I understand it, there was a lot of different small mining projects that have been consolidated into one now. So you can look at it in scale, a certain scale that would possibly make something very significant. The underground mining, you have some samples coming out, I think, and you've been, when might we expect those?
We could get something out as early as this week, I'm hoping. You know, we're just starting to get enough results back and being able to interpret those in a meaningful way, so that when we do release them, we can talk about it sort of knowledgeably. And yeah, I mean, there are hundreds of samples in the lab as we speak, and it's an ongoing project, as you say, because there are more than 300 old tunnels in the hillsides around the area, and about 8,000 meters we estimate of old workings that we don't have any maps for or anything, really no control over or knowledge of where those are. So part of that project is an underground surveying program, and that's something that Robert is kind of heading up himself. We've purchased a handheld laser scanner, which is leading edge technology, and to be able to, you know, survey the underground.
Know exactly where those samples came from.
Exactly, that's right. And then so once you have that three-dimensional coordinate for every individual sample, then you can actually build that into a resource model as
Right,
well.
right.
And in addition to that, it tells you where the underground workings are, so that when you're drilling on top, you don't drill into the workings. You want to try and
Waste
avoid
your-
that,
yeah.
because we did accidentally do that last year, and the rods got jammed, and we lost the whole rod string down the hole, which is very expensive. It's not something you want to do on a regular basis.
Is it possible that you can do some drilling from inside some of these workings, or is that the
ultimately,
targets?
you could, yes.
Are you looking at targets at depth, or is this more of a
no,
lateral?
it's mostly
lateral
fairly close to surface at the
surface,
moment.
yeah.
Just because of the sort of rolling hills, the topography there, and all these little
So
tunnels
easy
are
to
just
get to,
going
relatively.
very, very easy to get to.
get to,
Access is terrific.
So I would think that one of the drivers that we would be looking at would be exactly this, a sort of a resource modeling that can come from the
Hopefully
underground samplings.
by
and
the end of the year,
here you might
that's one of
start
our
to have-
goals is to try and to get to a maiden resource by Q4 of this year.
Right. And I think the other thing is just telling the story like you are now, getting this out to people
Right.
who, it hasn't been on the radar screen of
No,
many
it
people.
really hasn't. It's,
nobody's really looked at it until
because
now.
of the nature of the project being relatively early stage, no
Right.
modern exploration. So we've had to almost start from the ground floor and work our way up in terms of building that database and that knowledge of the project. And we're still learning. We're still trying to get a handle on the mineralization.
The major point that I would emphasize is that you're really a baby cap company. You have a little over 90 million shares.
That's correct.
I
About
think,
90 million shares
and
out, about 20 million market cap.
20 million market cap.
Yeah.
So if people can start to see some grade and scale here,
Yes.
I think the stock could move very rapidly,
It
especially if
could,
we were in
yeah.
a strong gold bull market, which I think we are. That would also help to bring in money into the sector, because now it's really a sector that nobody cares about,
Yes,
except
it's-
some
yeah.
of us gold guys that
Right, yeah.
we're always loving gold.
Yeah.
So,
That's right. Yeah.
so how is your funding situation? You probably need to raise some money, I'm guessing, before the end
For
of
the
year,
next round of drilling,
when you do some drilling.
we'll need to do another round of financing. But we've got very good support. The top 20 shareholders own about 70% of the company.
Oh, that's good.
And insiders own about 8-9%.
Right.
And so we have very, very good support. So those people will mostly be there when it comes time to do the next financing and support the company.
So we'll be looking for assays, and we might see them sometime. It's hard to say.
Potentially as soon as this week.
Yeah,
Robert's compiling information as we speak.
That will allow you
and,
to pull it together. And
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to it. I will be watching every day for news coming out from Newrange, and
Okay. Great. Yeah.
wish you all the
So,
best.
thanks very
Really
much, Jim.
great. Thank you so much for taking the
Okay.
time to talk to us.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.